Right then, we are back, and it's time to talk about a type of game that, if mentioned, normally installs dread into gamers all across the world. Yes, that's right, it's the tie-in video game. Throughout the years, the licensed or tie-in or whatever you bloody want to call it has largely got a bad rap, thanks to most games just being rushed out to coincide with a movie's theatrical run, just so the studio can make a quick buck off the name. And yeah, for sure, there are some absolute stinkers out there, but it's not all bad, so we say bollocks to that, as there are a ton of great tie-in games desperate for your good old love and attention. So today, I thought I'd count down 11 of my favourite overlooked and forgotten licensed or tie-in video games, or whatever you bloody want to call it, that you need in your ruddy collection. So hold onto your joystick tight and let's get to it.
Chew on my fist!
Enough talk. Let's fight!
Depending on which Xbox 360 you purchased, you may have been treated to a bundled copy of LEGO Indiana Jones and Kung Fu Panda. But like many others, you probably shrugged your shoulders and set up your 360 as fast as possible just so you could get into some online shooty bang bang good times on either Halo or Call of Duty. And who would blame you? Why would you think this free cutesy looking tie-in game to DreamWorks Jack Black voiced animated flick would be any good? Well, those whose curiosity got the better of them will tell you that Kung Fu Panda packs an adorable punch. The game captures the vibrant and captivating look of the movie in stunning detail, and due to this, the graphics still look gorgeous even to this day. Yeah, I know it's a kids game and all, but ain't we all just big kids at the end of the day? And thanks to the humour and charm and fantastic combat, the game is an easy recommendation for gamers of all ages. So yeah, this one offers a fun-filled adventure with colourful visuals, engaging gameplay, and a whole lot of endlessly silly fun. What's not to like, really? And if you are ashamed to play it, well, I don't know, just close the frickin' curtains or something and enjoy it.
Kung Fu Panda, the game. Kung Fu Panda style.
Look how they massacred my boy.
I'm not sure if this one should count, as even though it is the game based on the movie, it didn't actually release to coincide with the motion picture, but instead released many years after. But it's my list, my rules, and my channel, so forget about it, as the Godfather video game is up there with GTA for me when it comes to immersive open world experiences set in the criminal underworld. Yeah, at the end of the day it's just another GTA clone, but unlike the absolute slog that was GTA 4's gameplay, don't whack me for saying that, Godfather seamlessly managed to blend a great, gritty, cinematic tale with an immersive world and tone, but most importantly, fun gameplay into one beautiful little package. With the game seeing you step into the shoes of a new member of the Corleone family and working your way up through the ranks, which obviously means you're taking on some oh so very dirty mobster tasks, such as extortion, racketeering, and taking out rival families, and I've gotta tell ya, shaking down punks for their money or information never gets old. It's like, yeah, fuck you small business owner, have this, have that, I don't care if you've got a family to feed, eat my fist instead. Not only this though, but the game really does capture everything great about the movies effortlessly too. It's a real gem, come on guys.
King Kong ain't got shit on me!
After recently replaying the King Kong video game, I can honestly say it hasn't aged like fine wine, but if you can look past some minor flaws, graphical hiccups, and its extremely short length, this larger than life adventure still has a lot to offer. But I have to say, I only picked this one up back in the day just because I was a dirty, and I mean dirty, achievement whore, and just wanted that easy 1000G baby.
60 G's, baby!
But then when I did boot it up, I was pleasantly surprised with what I got. Fast forward to today, and yeah, Kong is still a stupidly dumb, yet wildly entertaining fun ride. Just like your mum, or so I've been told. I mean, 1 minute the game has you mowing down every goddamn thing that dwells on Skull Island with a frickin' Tommy gun, then in a blink of an eye you're snapping dino jaws as the eponymous King Kong himself. And I think it's this constant shake-up to what you're doing gameplay-wise that makes this thing just a sheer treat to play through. None of the sections are exceptional by any means, but as you're not doing one thing for too long, the game never gets too stale, other than the fucking crabs. Ignore the fucking crabs. crabs. Story-wise, it's, well, you know, the movie in game form, just stretched out ever so slightly longer than the movie. And after completing this again, I can just say it is well worth your time. A lot of work has gone into making you never feel safe on the island, which gives it this mad horror vibe that still engrossed me all these years later on my second playthrough. The music and sound is awesome, and some of the lighting is truly breathtaking. So stop beating your chest and just get this one. Right, unfortunately it's that time that I get down on my knees and ask you to do us a good old bloody favour, and that's to hit that subscribe button and the like button so the channel can grow as big as I do when I see Cammy in her classic costume.
Oh, there was a ghost. There's ectoplasm.
Jesus Christ. That's Jason Bourne.
Oh look, it's Jason Bourne. Kinda. No, it's not Matt Damon for some reason, as he has a problem with guns and games, apparently.
Matt Damon.
But forget all that, as I really did ruddy enjoy my time with the Bourne Conspiracy. Sure, it's janky as all hell, but there's something undeniably charming about Conspiracy that makes me kinda love the game flaws and all. This non-stop adrenaline-fueled romp mixes up its gameplay with third-person cover-based shooting, oh so satisfying, absolutely brutal hand-to-hand combat, and a few vehicle segments sprinkled in for good measure. It's by no means gonna stay with you long after you've completed it, but it's that perfect weekend binge kind of game you may say is a bit of a guilty pleasure that's perfect for jumping headfirst into with a pizza and a few beers. Just turn your brain off and enjoy the ride. It's not overly long, but what you get here will leave you smirking as you smash your enemies' heads into everything in the environment and even stab a few hands with pencils too. And who doesn't want to do that? The game's soundtrack and sound design are also a standout and really do go a long way to make you feel like you're playing inside a big action blockbuster. What else? Oh yeah, the driving sections, they ain't too shabby either. Give it a go, come back to this video and let me know if I'm wrong. If you love Splinter Cell Conviction or Blacklist like I did, I think you'll enjoy this one.
Matt Damon.
That wasn't flying, that was falling with style.
Yeah, it's another so-called kids game. But Toy Story 3 is really a true treat that's not to be missed, and is undeniably a fantastic gaming experience for players of all ages that captures the essence of the beloved Pixar film down to a T. You know you cried at the end of Toy Story 3? Just admit it, we all did.
Of course you did, we all did.
Well, this game seamlessly blends the heartwarming storytelling of the movies we grew up with, but what truly sets this game apart, however, is its brilliant combination of action-packed platforming, puzzle solving, and compelling missions that cater to a wide range of gamers, ensuring everyone can enjoy this adventure. But that's just one part of the game, as additionally, there's an inclusion of this unique toy box mode, which introduces an open-world sandbox experience which allows players to create their own stories and construct their own hellish, plastic-infused landscapes. This mode, to the right player, will offer endless replayability. It wasn't personally my cup of tea, but I can't deny the creativity this mode allowed gamers to engage in. I grew up playing the old Toy Story 2 game way back in the day, and can honestly say this is a worthy successor to the absolute banger. Just like the movie, Wanted lets you bend bullets round corners. Do I really need to say anything else? I do? Okay. Wanted Weapons of Fate is a hyper-stylish and hyper-violent third-person shooter, which makes up for its shortcomings by just being mindlessly entertaining. This video game, based on a movie which is based on a comic, is a gleefully dumb and bloody good time that knows exactly what it is and revels in its over-the-top schlocky and stylistic run-and-gun gameplay, which is complemented with some outrageous knife executions for good measure too. But where the game differs from the countless other cover shooters on the platform is with its slow-mo bullet bending mechanic that lets you whip bullets at your enemies no matter where the pesky buggers are hiding. Grab this one cheap and just enjoy the ride, it's so much fun. Next up, we have X-Men Origins Wolverine, a game that surpasses the movie it's based on in every single conceivable way, which it really isn't that hard, and gives us the brutal and bloody solo Wolverine outing us fans truly deserved. Yup, that's right, this game lets you play as the claw-popping, hair-covered, yellow spandex-wearing Canadian in all his savage glory as he tears apart his enemies, literally limb by limb, and covers the extensive level selection in buckets of the red stuff, and I mean buckets. Sure, it's by no means up there with the best of the hacking and slashing genre, but the game is just bloody fun, especially if you're a huge fan of the comics, as there is a ton of fan service, winks, nods, and attention to detail that will have you smiling. Special mention also has to go to the meticulously designed real-time regenerative healing and the fact that you can lift enemies into the spinning blades of a goddamn helicopter. Forget the god-awful movie and play this instead, as it's an adamantium covered great time.
How the fuck a human being wanna fuck a bluish green 7-3 tail having ass thing?
Avatar was a beautiful movie, but it was kind of lacking in any real substance to me. So, I was pretty surprised to be completely blown away by just how good the game adaptation was. The thing that stuck with me the most is there's an early choice in the game that completely took me back and has you choosing whether to align with the Na'vi or the RDA. So yeah, straight off the bat you get to choose if you're going to side with the goodies or the baddies.
Are we the baddies?
And this choice just completely alters your gameplay experience depending on who you choose to be. If you choose to take the role of the Marine, you'll get to destroy the planet of Pandora and its inhabitants with a healthy arsenal of weaponry while you laugh maniacally, with gameplay that has a Lost Planet-esque vibe to it. However, if you don't fancy murdering tons of lanky blue hair shaggers, you can choose to be one, where things will get a bit more primitive and a lot more hack and slashy as you interact and bond with everything Pandora has to offer while slicing down those who want to take your special minerals. Both campaigns are great and are extremely varied and give the game a great ton of replay value too. The game also looks absolutely stunning at times, with a lot of small details being added to make Pandora feel like the living, breathing planet it is. Don't let the mediocre reviews put you off this one, it's a real hidden gem. The second wholeheartedly underappreciated gem that came from a Marvel movie to make this list is Captain America Super Soldier, which, if I'm being honest, is essentially a slightly less polished Arkham Asylum clone with old Bat swapped out with America's finest super soldier, and Joker and the other Arkham inmates swapped out with Red Skull and loads of agents of Hydra. Nope, we're not getting no Bat gadgets here, we just get a super bouncy shield that is oh so satisfying to ricochet off some skulls. The meat of the game is made up of Arkham style combat, which is just as fun here as it is in the game it tries to copy. The story adds some fresh elements and villains not seen in the movie, and exploring and traversing the vast halls of the massive Hydra castle the game takes place in nicely pads out the game's runtime and is a welcome distraction to stop the combat from ever feeling too repetitive. If you're not a fan of old Cap and his star-spangled adventures, there's still a ton to enjoy here, and that shield, it's just perfection, trust me. Right, before we finish the list, I'm going to quickly shout out two honourable mentions that are just a tad too rough to strongly recommend, but they're still good. The first being Superman Returns. Superman Returns gives you the powers of a god and lets you quite literally break the sound barrier and blast your way around Metropolis City, saving innocents and beating up bad guys, of course. It's actually a really fun time if played in short bursts, as due to the lack of any real depth or just things to do, the game gets fairly repetitive and dull really quickly. But if you're in one of those moods where you just want to feel like an OP powerhouse, then this game gives you that in spades and really does make you feel like the Man of Steel himself. I also have to shout out the fact that Super Returns gives you the ability to play as Bizarro and wreak havoc on the city. It's no ultimate destruction, but it's still worth picking up if you can find it for cheap. The next honourable mention I want to give is to Tron Evolution, a third-person action-adventure game set in the neon-painted world of the Tron movies. Again, with Tron, just like Super Returns, there's really not enough meat to the game to fully recommend, and the gameplay mechanics definitely could do with some fine-tuning, but it gets a mention not only due to the fact that the world of Tron is just so gorgeous to run around in, and once you get fully upgraded with all the different discs at your disposal, the combat does feel extremely fluid and fun, but the main reason I suggest you check out this game is for its stupidly entertaining multiplayer modes, especially the light cycle tournaments. If you're a big Tron fan, just turn up the difficulty and you'll enjoy this one. It does flesh out the world in some interesting ways, but if you're not into Tron, just pick it up for the light cycles. Right, so that's a wrap. There are a bunch of great games I missed that are more aimed at the younger generation, but I'll probably cover those in a separate video. The same applies to any great tie-in games hidden away on the Xbox Live Arcade. So be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss them. Until next time guys, you stay tipsy.